The entire fandom spiraled into shock when a mysterious leaked clip appeared online late last night, an audio fragment allegedly capturing Sam Heughan speaking about Caitríona Balfe in a way no one had ever heard before. The recording was short, grainy, and clearly taken without permission, but one chilling sentence stood out clearly. "I think it's time people knew the truth about us." Within minutes, social media erupted. Thousands of fans replayed the audio in disbelief, trying to decipher the tone of Sam's voice: hurt, frustrated, emotional, or something far more complicated. No one knew who leaked it, but the damage was immediate. As the clip circulated, speculation exploded at a speed even faster than usual for the Outlander fandom. People wondered if it was an out-of-context moment, a private conversation, or a fragment taken from a confidential documentary interview. Others insisted it was real because Sam's tone carried an unfiltered honesty that didn't sound rehearsed or staged. By morning, hashtags like #SamExposesCaitríona and #TruthAboutThem were trending globally. The online atmosphere was electric, half panic, half anticipation, and entirely consumed by the question: what truth was Sam talking about? Reporters jumped in instantly. Entertainment sites published articles speculating on whether the leak hinted at a falling out, a hidden conflict, or a deep emotional moment the public had never been told about. Some journalists revisited old footage of Sam and Caitríona, highlighting rare interviews where their expressions seemed strained or where they gave unusually short answers. Others pointed out moments of emotional tension behind the scenes, clips where Sam looked at Caitríona a second too long, or where she avoided eye contact after a difficult press question. Suddenly, every subtle movement from the past decade became evidence. The fandom then revisited years of unanswered questions and unresolved speculation. Why had Sam and Caitríona once admitted they fought during early filming days? Why had they pulled back from publicly affectionate interactions after the first few seasons? Why did they occasionally contradict each other in interviews? Fans pieced together fragments of old drama, connecting dots that may or may not have existed. The leak added fuel to long-standing theories. Some believed Sam was finally ready to reveal a hidden romance, while others were convinced it was about a conflict they had buried to protect the show. But the most explosive speculation centered around the idea that Sam had been forced to stay silent about something involving Caitríona for years. People pointed to times when Sam seemed unusually protective of her, or occasions when he appeared emotional when discussing their partnership. Many remembered interviews where he described her as family, or the most important person on set, but said it in a tone that felt weighted with unspoken meaning. Fans started asking themselves whether the bond between them had always held a secret too dangerous to confess. As the frenzy grew, more alleged insiders began posting vague comments. One claimed the leaked audio came from an unaired Outlander documentary segment filmed years ago. Another insisted Sam had been wrestling with guilt over something involving Caitríona. Yet another teased that the truth isn't what people think, it's bigger. These posts offered no proof, yet they ignited massive waves of new theories. The fandom had become a volcano ready to erupt, and every whisper pushed it closer to the edge. The pressure intensified when someone leaked a description of the full audio, claiming Sam had spoken about a moment that changed everything between him and Caitríona. The description said he sounded emotional, frustrated, even talking about the weight of keeping a certain secret. Whether the description was accurate or fabricated didn't matter. People believed it. Screenshots circulated. Fan accounts argued. Reaction videos appeared on TikTok by the hour. The story had become too big to contain. Even more shocking was the emergence of a second leaked line, this time allegedly from Caitríona. The audio fragment was low quality, but the words sent shockwaves through the fandom. "We couldn't say anything, not without consequences." That single sentence flipped the narrative from speculation to near hysteria. Fans began dissecting every project contract, timeline, and interview to understand what consequences she meant. Was it career-related, personal, emotional, something involving the studio? No one knew, but everyone wanted the truth. At this point, the situation had grown so intense that even neutral observers began commenting on it. Media analysts warned that the leak could create long-term tension within the Outlander team. Industry insiders suggested more recordings might surface. Fans, meanwhile, lived in a state of nervous excitement, terrified of what the truth might be, yet desperate to finally understand the bond between Sam and Caitríona. And then came the final spark that ignited the explosion. A trusted source, someone known for accurate behind-the-scenes information, posted a chilling message. Sam is preparing a public response. And yes, the truth he's about to reveal will change everything you thought you knew. The fandom froze. The media froze. The entire entertainment world seemed to stop breathing. Because if Sam Heughan was finally ready to expose the truth about Caitríona Balfe. This was only the beginning. When Sam Heughan finally appeared on camera to address the leak, fans could feel instantly that something was different. He wasn't polished, styled, or surrounded by a team. He looked like a man who had carried a secret for far too long and had finally decided to let the weight slip from his shoulders. The video was quiet, raw, and filmed in low light, almost as if he wanted the world to listen to his voice without distraction. And his first sentence sent a shock straight through the fandom. What you heard wasn't a lie. Sam went on to explain that the leaked recording came from a private conversation filmed years ago during a behind-the-scenes documentary that was never released. In that conversation, he had been speaking honestly, painfully honestly, about the pressure he and Caitríona faced during the peak of Outlander's success. He said they were struggling privately with expectations from the studio, the fandom, and even from their own friendship. People think we were always perfect, he said quietly, but we weren't. Not even close. His voice carried both nostalgia and a deep, exhausted sadness. He then addressed the central mystery of the leak. What truth he had been referring to. Fans leaned closer as Sam described a period during the early seasons when he and Caitríona became overwhelmed by the emotional intensity of their work. Filming intimate, heartbreaking scenes day after day created a closeness that blurred the boundaries of fiction and reality. We cared about each other more than we were allowed to, Sam admitted. And we didn't know what to do with that. The revelation hit fans like a tidal wave. This wasn't just friendship or professional admiration. It was something deeper, more complicated, and dangerously real. As the video continued, Sam revealed that the studio became aware of the deepening emotional connection between him and Caitríona. Executives feared the intensity between them could cause problems, fuel rumors, destabilize marketing strategies, or distract from the narrative. According to Sam, he and Caitríona were strongly discouraged from spending too much time together outside filming. They were told to maintain professional distance, avoid feeding fan fantasies, and stick to controlled chemistry. It wasn't simply work, it became a set of boundaries enforced on their personal lives. Sam confessed that the strain of hiding their bond created both closeness and conflict. They had moments of laughter, long nights talking about their fears, and even days where they couldn't look at each other without feeling overwhelmed. But they also had arguments, real ones, born from frustration, misunderstanding, and pressure neither of them had the tools to handle. We weren't falling apart, Sam clarified. We were falling into something we weren't allowed to explore. The honesty stunned fans, leaving them breathless. Then Sam addressed the second leaked sentence, the one allegedly spoken by Caitríona. We couldn't say anything, not without consequences. He confirmed that Caitríona had indeed said those words. The consequences, he explained, were professional ones, clauses in contracts, media obligations, and expectations imposed by producers who feared chaos if the stars' dynamic shifted too far from the scripted romance. Sam revealed that both he and Caitríona had been explicitly told not to reveal how emotionally difficult things had become. Protecting the show meant hiding their truth. But Sam made something very clear: he wasn't exposing Caitríona. He was protecting her. He said Caitríona had carried the weight of the secret just as heavily as he had, yet she was the one blamed, attacked, and scrutinized for choices people didn't understand. She never deserved that, he said firmly. Not then, not now, not ever. His voice cracked as he spoke, and fans felt his sincerity like a punch to the chest. The video was no longer about scandal. It was about loyalty. Sam continued by revealing that he and Caitríona eventually had a difficult conversation, a moment he described as painful and necessary. They acknowledged that while their bond was real and powerful, it couldn't become what fans fantasized about. They had to protect each other, protect the show, and protect themselves. So they made a silent agreement to redirect their closeness into their work, and bury the rest. "We chose distance to survive," Sam said. "But we never stopped caring." Fans around the world were emotional. Many cried. Many finally understood years of subtle tension, unspoken moments, and unexplained shifts between the two actors. The truth wasn't betrayal. It wasn't hatred. It wasn't hidden romance. It was something far more human, a complicated, bittersweet connection forced into silence by circumstances far beyond their control. Sam ended the video with a final, heartbreaking confession. "The truth is, Caitríona has been one of the most important people in my life. And I will never regret that, no matter what people say." The video cut off. The world went silent. And the fandom finally understood that the real bombshell wasn't scandal. It was the emotional truth Sam had carried for a decade.